The woman woke up in the morning and found that someone had put stockings on her. In front of her was a strange room. The only familiar thing was her husband, who was still by her side. Neither of them knew where they were. The husband tried to make a phone call for help, but the phone wasn't connected at all. The woman tried to pull open a drawer, but it wouldn't move. The husband yanked it hard, and the drawer panel broke off, revealing a solid piece of wood behind it. It turned out the cabinet was just for decoration. The man opened the refrigerator. The food inside was all fake models. They decided to go outside and take a look, but as soon as they stepped out the door, the man heard a burst of children's laughter. Looking around, there wasn't a single person in sight. Then the woman saw a squirrel sitting in a tree. She happily approached to greet it, but as soon as she touched it, the squirrel fell from the branch. It turned out the squirrel was also just a model. The husband went to knock on the nearby doors one by one. He knocked for a long time, but no one responded. It was as if the two of them were the only ones in the entire town. The man said today was Sunday, maybe everyone had gone to church. But when the two arrived at the church, it was also completely empty. The husband rang the big bell on the church tower, hoping it would draw some people out to take a look. But the wife watched from outside for a long time. Not a single person appeared. At this point, the two were completely panicked. Then came another burst of children's laughter, and the sound seemed to come from above in the sky. The man lit a cigarette for his wife, who was scared out of her mind. Unexpectedly, the match he threw on the ground easily ignited the grass. The man stomped it out, and bent down to examine the burning grass. Turns out, the grass was fake too, made of some flammable material. They continued exploring the strange little town. Finally, they found a car on the street. Excited, they went up to greet the driver. But the driver turned out to be a dummy too. The man was furious. He shouted, demanding an end to this prank. But the surroundings remained eerily silent. The couple decided to drive away, but the car wouldn't start. The man opened the hood. There wasn't even an engine inside. What on earth was going on? They remembered what happened before they got here. That night, the man had drunk too much, and the wife was driving them home. She vaguely remembered a shadow covering the car, and then they remembered nothing. Could it be that they had gotten into an accident? Was this place the world after death? Suddenly, the sound of a train whistle came. They followed the sound and arrived at a train station. The station was quiet and empty. Luckily, there was a train sitting on the tracks. They quickly boarded the train, hoping to leave this ghost town as soon as possible. But when the train reached the next stop, the two were stunned. They had returned to the same place where they boarded. They got off the train. Sure enough, it was the same little town as before. Nothing around them had changed. Just then, a huge shadow appeared in the sky. It loomed over them. The man pulled his wife under a tree to hide. They couldn't tell what it was. The two ran frantically through the streets. The wife twisted her ankle. The massive shadow swept down again. It was a giant hand. The hand grabbed both of them into the air. A child's laughter rang out. It turned out the entire town was just a toy of a little girl. The couple was held in the palm of her hand. The child curiously examined them and told her mother how interesting the toy was. The mother reminded the girl not to hurt the little animals. Upon hearing that, the girl put the couple back into the town. If one day, humans really became the toys of some higher life form, led around, locked in cages, even treated as tasty food, how terrifying that would be.